everyone, it's Imogen and welcome back to Colouring Kid. I hope you're all doing well. In today's video I have a review for you of these acrylic paint markers that were sent to me by the company Grabie. I was in contact with a lovely lady called Clara from their company asking if she could send me one of the products for review, and I ended up choosing these because the only experience that I've ever had of acrylic paint markers before are the Posca paint pens. If you haven't seen them before, this is probably the most common nib size. These are the 0.7s, and I think most of the colours come in these sizes, and I find these ones quite hard to use because they're not very opaque, and the nib just generally is a bit scratchy. You can also get them in other sizes. I also have a couple in this size which are a lot bigger. These are the PC5M, and you can get them, as I said, in sizes varying between the smallest and kind of a larger one, but again, not all the colours come in them. And I have been testing these pens out, and I have to say I think they are just as good, if not better, than Posca pens, and they are a lot more affordable as well, because Posca pens can get quite expensive and they only come in packs of around 8, or you can buy them individually. So I think this is a great alternative. I think that they were roughly about $28, these pens. So not bad when you get 28 colours as well. So, you know, they're roughly about $1 a pen. So I have been testing this out. I'm going to show you some pictures that I've used them on, show you everything about the pens. If you do have any questions that I don't answer for any reason in the video, feel free to email me or leave a comment down below if you're interested. So these pens, let's just go into them a little bit more. So as I said, there are 28 colours in this pack, and I think that the variation that they have, the colours, is really good. So I have reordered them. When they came, they were all mixed in different colours, but since swatching them and using them, I have just found that for me this type of rainbow order works, just because I know which ones are kind of lighter and darker. So you do also get a metallic and a silver. I will show you those in a second. So when you open it up, they are on kind of 2 levels. You can't pull them out. It's not like trays where you pull them out, which I think is really nice because they're kept in a compact case. And it also comes with this leaflet here, which I'm just going to show you. So it does give you a bit of information about acrylic paint markers. So you can use them exactly the same as Poscas. As I said, I think they're more opaque than Poscas. So you can use them here like they've suggested on wood or stones and things like that. There is some information in English. Yep. So if I just read this for you to give you a bit of background. So premium quality acrylic paint pens uses rich, vibrant, water-based ink that dries quickly to produce a very durable, opaque and glossy finish on light and dark surfaces. And I definitely agree with that. They dry very quickly. Multi-purpose, enjoy an elegant and friendly user design on creating art projects on a variety of surfaces like stone, metal, ceramic, wood, plastic, terracotta, polymer clay, rubber and more. Also industrial use or marking tools, parts and other industrial applications. Non-toxic, no odour, ideal for artists and art students, teenagers and adults. So you can see here the different tips that I think you may be able to get. So the tip that is given in this set are the 0.7s, but they're very good. You can get different tip sizes as well, just by putting the pen at a different angle. And again, it shows here how to actually set up the pens if you've never used acrylic paint pens before. I do also have a short clip of me getting one activated, which I will be showing you. So that's what you also get, and here are the swatches. So I just swatched these out onto some card, and I thought it would be so much easier to just keep them in the set, so that they're there. So these are all of the colours. And I'm not sure if you can see there, but we do have the gold and silver. The silver to me is probably more metallic than the gold, but they're still both very metallic. And yes, these are all of the colours. So what I've done is I've swatched them all out, also with a thick and thin line, which you will see in a minute when I demonstrate using them. So overall, I think the range is lovely. I love the fact that we get some more muted tones. Even the, you know, kind of greens here, we've got a muted green and some gorgeous purples, and generally you kind of get three colours, 2 or 3 colours for each, if that makes sense. So for the purples, you've got 3 different purples. The only colour I'd say that's lacking in this set is a light blue, because the colour that we do have here is more of a teal green colour. You kind of need one that's lighter like this, and you do have a lighter blue in Poscas, so you could always supplement the sets. And I feel maybe also kind of a blush pink, so not as kind of bright as this pink. That would work really well as part of the set, and maybe even just a lighter spring green colour rather than the teal green. So I think that they could definitely expand the set if they wanted to. There's definitely room for that, but I think the colours they have chosen for a 28 set, which ordinarily, if we compare that to pencil sets, it's not very large. So if they were to come out with more colours, I would say that there's definitely room for some lighter colours possibly. But overall, I think it's a really good set, and definitely enough to get you started if you've never used them before. So I am now going to show you the clip of how you actually get one of the pens started. So as you could see from that clip, it was very, very easy to use them. Some of them took a little bit longer to get started than usual, but that's normal with paint pens, and overall I didn't have any issues with them. So I'm just going to show you one of the pens now. Turn it around for you. Let's get this pen here. Now I have just recently swatched them and everything, so actually the paint isn't kind of split, but the barrel here ordinarily would have the paint kind of separated, and so by shaking them you can see the paint coming together. So it's really nice that we have that see-through barrel. I really like that. So the actual lid comes off really well, and this is what the pen actually looks like. So I don't know properly, I mean, I'm not used to loads of different types of paint pens, so I don't know, I'm not an expert on how paint pens actually work, but you can see there's a small sponge here that the nib is in, and I believe that's the paint then is from that point. And yeah, the nibs are really good. I love how they work, and they're very different to Posca nibs. I should say that right away. They're very easy to use. The only issue I had with them at the beginning was that if you kind of put too much pressure on them, they would spray. So what I mean by that is, I mean, it may not work now because I've been using them, but if you kind of press them at a weird angle like this, I'm not sure if it will show up, but there are kind of little dots created just from using them. But if you're careful with them, if you're light-handed, they're absolutely fine. So what I mean by being able to get different line widths is that if you hold them normally, you can get a really nice thin line, which is the 0.7 millimeter, sorry. If you hold them at an angle like we would a normal pen, you can get a slightly thicker line, and if you hold it like this, lengthways, you can get a really thick line, which is perfect. I have also been experimenting with these. You can do calligraphy with them as well. So I'm not very good at calligraphy yet. I haven't been doing it for very long, but you can absolutely use them like a calligraphy pen for lettering if you wish to. But as you can see from this, the ink flow, or the paint flow I should say, is absolutely amazing. There's no skipping, they are very opaque, and I'm really, really impressed with them. So what I thought I would show you is the actual opacity of these, because ultimately I think lots of us will either be using these on top of our colourings or to cover up lines. So let's just have a look at the white, because the white paint pen tends to be, at least for me, the one that I always like to, you know, see what it's like. Because I think it's always great to have different options for covering up white lines. So what I'm going to do is compare the Posca to the Grabie acrylic paint pen. Now this one I never really use, so it's not the best. But as you can see, the paint tends to just come out very sporadically. So let's have a look on. I will hold it up. So straight away, and this could be to do with the actual pen that I've used to do these lines, the Posca one makes the pen just run. I'm not sure if you can see that there. So that is not very good. And then if we just draw over a couple of the lines. Oops, sorry for shaking the camera there. It's a little bit better, but the black lines are still very much visible. Now, if we compare the Grabie paint pen, I will hold it up, but straight away there is a huge difference. It's very, very opaque, and the card that I'm using is kind of an off-white, so it's even clearer to see the white. So this is what it looks like compared to the Posca. So there is a big difference. It's still not fully opaque. I think it would be very difficult to get that level of opacity, but it is very good. I've also put some pencil down here just to see how it reacts, because it is kind of the same texture as coloured pencil. Again, that goes down fairly well as well. So you do have options with this, and it's great. And the lines that I actually just did, they're already dry. They're really, really good. I will just get a pencil actually and test out for you how going over a pencil works. Okay, so it's very similar to how other products react that I've used before. So things like ink, you do still get that bit of resistance where it's lighter in places, but I have to say that's one of the better ones that I've seen. So covering up lines should be fairly easy with these pens, if you so wish to. Let's just try out a colour as well on top of the black. Now with this being a darker colour anyway, it's going to be a lot easier to cover it up. Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. That is pretty much fully opaque. So in terms of opacity level, I think they're really, really good, and they work well. So that's kind of my thoughts on the pens really. I am just going to grab the couple of books that I have used these pens in, just to show you what they look like on an actual coloured picture. So I've used these pens on 2 pictures recently that I have coloured. The first one is from Frozen Fantasies, a mythographic colouring book by Fabiana Attanasio. You'll also see this picture on my completed pages. But what I want to highlight mainly is where I have used the paint pens, obviously, because this is part of the review. So when I was doing this page, I kind of got the paint pens when I was just finishing this page. But the main place that I have used them is actually the white paint pen, just to test out how it works, you know, see what it's like and how it fits with the page. And it worked really well. I used the white one quite a lot for this snowy effect, but mainly up here on the castle. So all of the white there was the paint pen. So I'm really, really pleased with how it worked. I was mainly just using the white one on this picture because it was the one I was most intrigued about to see how it worked. So overall, I think that it is very similar to how my white gel pens work. So my Arteza white gel pens. So I use these ones. White gel pens for me tend to be a bit more opaque, just because you can control them a bit more. They've got a thinner line, but they do take quite a while to use. So I wanted to see what the paint pen was, and because they're different as well, you know, the actual formulation of a gel pen to me seems a bit different. But yeah, they were pretty much the same, and I don't think you can tell a difference. So they worked really well on that. But the main picture that I was testing them out on was this one from Dreamland by Renetta Crawksyke. And this was a picture that I did this month. It's this picture. So I thought they worked fantastically. I've used them a lot on this page, and I wonder, before I tell you, if you can guess where I have used them. So the main place are on these circular areas. So I used all 3 purples that I had, and I just simply filled in all of the circles, and I love the effect that it's created because they're very bold, fully coloured. It would have taken me quite a lot of time, and I would have to put a lot of pressure on my hands to be able to colour those circles in with pencil at full opacity. So the paint pen just saved me a lot of time. They worked very well, very precise, and also it gives a really nice texture as well, which I quite like. They did dry really quickly. And I've gone over to add some shadow with pencil, and that worked really well too. I also used them for lines and dots and things on the flowers here. So I've used quite a few different colours. Also the pale like teal colour I've used on all of the lines on the outside. And I also used the white. So all of these dots of white are all the paint pen. So I just thought they worked really well, and I can't wait to use them more, because realistically this did take me a lot less time than it would have done using pencil or a different medium. I think they're better than markers because they don't bleed through, but you also do get that really nice opaque finish. So I did also use the gold on these kind of circular bits, and then went over with jelly roll glaze, so the actual shine of the metallic doesn't show through as much, but I did use them on that. So as you can see, absolutely no bleed through. Yeah, I'm really, really impressed with how they worked. So I think that's pretty much everything I have to tell you about the pens. If you're interested in purchasing them, I will leave all the information below, as well as a 15% off code for Grabie, which is very, very kind of them. If you would like to purchase something from their website using the code, it is KID15, capitals for kid. I will put it down in the description as well for you. But that's very exciting. So if you want to get some art supplies for yourself or for friends and family, because Christmas is coming up as well, then yeah, check them out. They've got lots of other things apart from the paint pens that I did show. They have pencils, markers, that sort of thing, as well as like office supplies and things, I believe. So yeah, there's a lot there, and I'm very, very happy and excited to continue using these. And again, thank you so much to Clara for reaching out and asking to collaborate with me. I very much enjoyed it, and yeah, I'm just astounded at the capabilities of these paint pens actually, and yeah, I can't wait to use them more. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Take care, everyone. Bye.